It began in silence. No flare, no warning, no familiar trace that our telescopes could track in advance. One moment, the skies above were as they always had been, and then without so much as a whisper, something appeared. A stranger, drifting from the black gulf between stars, intruding upon our solar system at a speed that seemed to defy imagination. Astronomers, stunned, gave it a name, 3I Atlas, a plain clinical label for something that feels anything but ordinary. The 3 stands for third, the third interstellar object humanity has ever recorded. The I marks it as interstellar. And Atlas? That comes from the telescope system in Hawaii that first detected it, almost by accident, beneath dark skies in late June. But behind that cold designation lies a mystery that rattles the imagination. This object, this visitor, is brighter than it should be. Its path through space seems impossible, as though guided by some hidden hand. When astronomers traced its orbit backward, they found it came not from some familiar corner of our cosmic neighborhood, but from the very heart of the galaxy itself, a region shrouded in violent energy and ancient secrets. The shock was not that something had entered our solar system. It was that we never saw it coming. Until it was already here, the object remained invisible, concealed in the infinite blackness. A phantom born in interstellar dark. Now, as telescopes turn their gaze toward it, humanity finds itself asking questions that are both thrilling and terrifying. Is it a rock, nothing more than a piece of galactic debris, tumbling endlessly through the void? Is it a fragment ripped from a distant star system, hurled into space after some ancient collision? Or is it something else entirely? Could it be artificial? For those who follow the stars, this is not the first time such questions have been asked. Humanity's story with interstellar visitors began only a few short years ago. For centuries, astronomers gazed outward, convinced our solar system drifted alone in a vast and indifferent universe. The comets we charted, the asteroids we tracked, they all belonged to our own celestial family. Nothing from beyond ever crossed our cosmic doorstep, at least not that we could see. Then, in October of 2017, that belief shattered. An object entered our solar system that defied every expectation. Its name, Oumuamua, a Hawaiian word meaning a messenger from afar, arriving first. It was like nothing astronomers had ever seen. Shaped strangely like a cigar or perhaps a flattened disk, it streaked past the sun at extraordinary speed. It carried no visible tail, unlike any comet we'd studied before. And then came the strangest fact of all. As it moved away, it accelerated. Subtly, but undeniably. Something was pushing it. Yet, there was no gas, no dust, no natural explanation we could agree upon. Some said it was simply a fragment of rock, behaving in ways we did not yet understand. Others most controversially whispered of another possibility, that it might be an artifact, a probe, the long-dead remnant of a civilization too distant and too old to even imagine. 2 years later, another visitor arrived. 2I Borisov, named after the amateur astronomer who spotted it. Unlike Oumuamua, Borisov looked more familiar. It bore the unmistakable tail of a comet, and scientists around the world rushed to study it. Its alien composition confirmed its interstellar origin. This time, the mystery was less about what it was than what it meant. For the first time in history, we were witnessing the passage of interstellar objects, plural. And now, the pattern continues. 3I Atlas has entered our story, and unlike its predecessors, it may be far larger. Calculations suggest that if its surface is as dark as most asteroids, it could span nearly 20 kilometers across, making it a true giant compared to those that came before. Its brightness is unsettling. Its trajectory, unusual. Its sudden appearance, unexplained. This new visitor does more than puzzle astronomers. It forces us to ask deeper questions. Why now? Why, after millennia of silence, have 3 interstellar objects crossed our path in just a handful of years? Were they always there, slipping past unseen, hidden by the limits of our technology? Or is something else at work? Has some shift in the galaxy's invisible rhythms sent these wanderers hurtling toward us? What is certain is this: 3I Atlas is no ordinary rock. Its velocity exceeds 152,000 miles per hour, a staggering speed that ensures it is not bound to our Sunday. It will pass through, linger briefly, and then vanish back into the abyss. But not before offering humanity another glimpse into the unknown. Astronomers across the globe are now racing to capture every detail. Telescopes from Chile to Hawaii, from Spain to Australia, all trained on this enigmatic traveler. Each night, more data pours into the minor planet center, confirming the impossible. Its path can only be explained by an origin outside our solar system. Already, its journey has been mapped. In October 2025, it will make a close approach to Mars, skimming past the red planet before sweeping inward toward our Sunday. Earth, for now, is safe, observing from a cautious distance. But the questions it stirs reach far beyond the concern of safety. Because in every culture, in every age, visitors from the heavens have carried meaning. They have been omens, messengers, portents of change. And though today we wrap our wonder in the language of science, the truth remains. Something has come to us from the deep night between stars, and it demands our attention. Already, debates erupt in university halls and scientific journals. Some insist we should treat it as nothing more than a cosmic rock. Others argue its behavior must be scrutinized with an open mind. And at the center of it all lies the possibility that chills the imagination. What if we are no longer alone? What if these interstellar visitors are not random fragments of ice and stone, but signs of a pattern? Humanity has always feared two things above all: the thought that we are utterly alone in an empty universe, and the thought that we are not. Now, as 3I, Atlas streaks silently toward our sun, we find ourselves at the edge of both fears, forced to wonder what waits beyond the curtain of stars. The arrival of 3I, Atlas, did not just spark curiosity. It ignited a storm. Within days of its discovery, observatories across the globe turned their instruments toward the anomaly. The first measurements trickled in, then a flood. Over 100 separate observations confirmed the same impossible truth. This was not a comet or asteroid native to our solar system. Its trajectory pointed outward, traced backward into the depths of interstellar space. The verdict was inescapable. 3I. Atlas was born beyond the sun's dominion. But the data also revealed something stranger. Its brightness was unusual, far greater than expected for an object drifting in from the void. If its surface were dark like most asteroids, its size would be staggering, perhaps as wide as 20 kilometers, dwarfing its predecessors. That possibility alone was enough to rattle astronomers. For decades, textbooks described interstellar objects as rare, tiny fragments. Yet here was something larger, brighter, and far more unsettling. As scientists refined their measurements, the object's story grew even more enigmatic. Its incoming path seemed to point not from a nearby star, not from a familiar galactic neighbor, but from a region close to the center of our galaxy, a place of mystery, violence, and unimaginable age. Black holes churn there. Stars are born and die in explosive fury, and from that chaotic realm, Atlas seems to have emerged. For the scientific community, the stakes were clear. This was not just another comet. It was an opportunity, perhaps the greatest in modern astronomy, to study something forged in a distant system, sculpted by conditions alien to our own. Yet alongside the excitement came an uncomfortable tension. Because not everyone agreed that Atlas was natural, one voice in particular has stirred controversy before. Avi Loeb, the outspoken astrophysicist from Harvard, has long argued that humanity should not dismiss the extraordinary too quickly. In 2017, when Oumuamua baffled astronomers, Loeb suggested the unthinkable, that it might be an artifact, a probe of alien design. His words sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Many dismissed them as sensational. Others, quietly, admitted that his questions were valid. Now, Loeb is speaking again. To him, 3I, Atlas, may represent another chance to confront a possibility we fear to acknowledge. He calls for humanity to aim its most powerful instruments, the James Webb Space Telescope among them, toward the object. His goal: to search for signs of non-gravitational acceleration. At first glance, the phrase sounds technical, almost mundane, but behind it lies a revelation. Objects in space move under the pull of gravity. Planets orbit stars, comets arc gracefully around suns, asteroids wander on predictable paths. But sometimes, something more subtle occurs. A comet, for instance, may appear to accelerate not because of some hidden force, but because as its ice heats up near a star, gas escapes, creating a faint thrust. This is a natural phenomenon known as outgassing. Yet Oumuamua betrayed no such signs. No tail, no jets of vapor, nothing that could explain its strange, silent push into the dark. And that anomaly still haunts astronomers today. If 3I, Atlas, shows a similar effect, if it moves in ways gravity alone cannot explain, then the implications will be staggering. Such a movement could mean only two things. Either it is governed by natural forces we do not yet understand, or it is propelled by something else, something artificial. The very word hangs in the air like a forbidden thought. Artificial. An interstellar probe, perhaps. A vessel of alien design launched into the galaxy by a civilization long gone. Maybe eons ago, across light years, someone or something sent it drifting through the void, built not to communicate, not to conquer, but simply to observe, to awaken briefly as it passed near suns, to watch quietly, to take note of civilizations rising and falling beneath alien skies. It is an idea as chilling as it is thrilling. Yet mainstream science pushes back. Most astronomers urge caution, warning against leaping to conclusions. The brightness of Atlas, they argue, may simply be the result of a reflective surface ice gleaming in sunlight. Its size, though immense, is not impossible for a natural body. Its origin near the galactic center, while unusual, does not demand an artificial explanation. Still, the whispers persist. Because if this object truly is as large as 20 kilometers, its sheer scale demands attention. A rock that size, traveling at more than 152,000 miles per hour, is no trivial visitor. If it were to strike a world, it would erase civilizations. Its passage reminds us of how fragile our place in the universe truly is. And then comes the question that gnaws at the edge of collective consciousness. Why now? Why have we suddenly begun to detect these visitors in such quick succession? 3 in less than a decade, after centuries of silence. Have they always been there, hidden by our technological blindness? Or is the universe itself shifting? Some suggest that galactic collisions or stellar disturbances may have altered the flow of debris, sending fragments across new trajectories. Others wonder if our solar system is drifting into a denser region of interstellar space, a place rich with remnants from long-dead systems. But among the theories lurks a possibility more unsettling. What if this is not coincidence? What if these objects are not random wanderers at all? For humanity, the debate is more than academic. It is existential. Because in the end, the question of Atlas forces us to confront a paradox at the heart of our species. We fear isolation. For centuries, poets and scientists alike have asked whether we are alone in the vast night. The silence of the stars has always haunted us. Yet at the same time, we fear the alternative even more, that we are not alone. That something out there has always been watching, waiting, drifting silently in the dark. As Atlas streaks toward its meeting with Mars in October 2025, the world waits. Telescopes strain, supercomputers model trajectories, scholars argue in papers and conferences, and beneath it all runs a current of awe and unease. What if Loeb is right? What if this object, gleaming and immense, is not a mere fragment of stone, but a relic technology cast adrift, surviving long after its makers vanished? What if it was never meant to contact us at all, but to pass by silently, recording, cataloging, and moving on? And perhaps the most haunting thought of all? What if it has been here before? Whatever the answer, one fact is undeniable. 3I. Atlas has already changed us. It has forced us to question the certainty of our isolation, to revisit old fears, to weigh wonder against dread. It has reminded us that our solar system is not a fortress, but a crossroads, a place where wanderers pass, unseen and unbidden, leaving us to wonder what else may travel the silent lanes of interstellar night. For now, it remains a mystery suspended in space, a luminous question hurtling toward the heart of our solar system. And with each passing day, as data sharpens and theories clash, humanity finds itself caught between two possibilities. Atlas is either a fragment of natural wonder, or it is a messenger, and both possibilities demand that we pay attention. Every age in human history has faced moments that forced us to reconsider who we are and where we belong. The discovery of new continents, the realization that Earth orbits the sun the first steps on the moon. Each time, our vision widened, and our place in the cosmos grew both smaller and more profound. Now, with the arrival of 3I Atlas, we may be facing another of those moments. Because this is not just about a rock hurtling through the solar system, it is about a pattern. 3 interstellar visitors in less than a decade: Oumuamua in 2017, Borisov in 2019, and now Atlas, brighter, larger, and stranger than the rest. For centuries, our sky was silent, unbroken by foreign travelers. And then, suddenly, we find ourselves standing at a cosmic crossroads. Coincidence? Perhaps. But to many, the timing feels different, intentional even. There are explanations, of course. Science always seeks them. Some astronomers argue that these objects have always passed through, unnoticed until now. Our instruments simply weren't sensitive enough to detect them. Only in recent years, with the rise of wide-field telescopes and advanced sky surveys, have we sharpened our vision. Others propose that something has shifted in the galaxy itself, that perhaps gravitational tides from distant stars, or the slow dance of galaxies colliding, have sent a surge of debris into our neighborhood. Or maybe our solar system is drifting into a denser region of interstellar space, a place teeming with the fragments of ancient worlds. All are possible, yet none erase the unease. Because the more visitors arrive, the more the silence of the past feels unnatural. Soon, a new tool will join the search. In the mountains of Chile, the Vera Rubin Observatory nears completion. Unlike telescopes that peer at single patches of sky, Rubin will scan the entire heavens every few nights, building a living map of the cosmos in motion. With its unparalleled reach, it will capture faint, fast-moving objects before they slip away, perhaps revealing dozens, even hundreds, of new interstellar wanderers. If that happens, the question will sharpen. Have we always been surrounded by these travelers, hidden until now? Or are we truly entering a new cosmic era? And if the universe is more crowded than we imagined, what else might be out there? Drifting in the dark, waiting for us to notice. The answers may transform us, but they will also test us. Because Atlas, like the objects before it, is more than a mystery of physics. It is a mirror. In its gleam, we see our own fears reflected. We fear being utterly alone, adrift on a pale blue dot in an empty universe. Yet we fear even more the possibility that we are not alone, that other eyes have already gazed upon us, that we are not the discoverers, but the discovered. Imagine for a moment that Atlas is what Avi Loeb dares to suggest, an artifact. Not a ship brimming with passengers, but a silent probe launched eons ago by a civilization now long gone. Imagine it drifting endlessly through the galaxy, awakening briefly when it nears a star, recording data, cataloging the strange sparks of life it finds along the way. To such a machine, our world would be just another entry in an endless library of civilizations, some thriving, many extinct. It would mean that long before we looked outward, someone else already had. And if Atlas is natural, no less remarkable truths remain. Its journey tells us that the stars are not isolated, that fragments of distant systems pass through ours, carrying with them secrets of alien chemistry and cosmic history. To study them is to read pages torn from books written light years away, pages that may teach us how worlds are born, how systems die, and perhaps even how life itself spreads between the stars. But here lies the deeper question. What do we do with this knowledge? Do we meet these discoveries with caution, wary of what they might mean, retreating into denial? Or do we embrace them with curiosity, daring to look further, to open our eyes wider than ever before? Humanity has always stood between these choices, fear or fascination. Atlas does not provide the answer. It simply holds up the question more clearly than ever. And in its presence, we are forced to confront another truth. Our window of opportunity is fleeting. For just as quickly as it appeared, Atlas will vanish. It will sweep past Mars in October 2025, skim near the Sun, and then accelerate outward, retreating back into the vast dark from which it came. Like its predecessors, it will not stay. It is only passing through, an ephemeral visitor on a path that will never return. And when it is gone, we will be left with only our questions and perhaps a few fragments of data, a handful of measurements, a memory of light. But the meaning will endure. Because with each of these visitors, something inside us shifts. They remind us that our solar system is not a closed chamber but a crossroads. That the void between stars is not empty, but alive with motion, with fragments of stories written long before we appeared. They whisper to us that we are part of something larger, something vast and intricate, something that stretches beyond the reach of our comprehension. Atlas, like Oumuamua and Borisov before it, is not just a cosmic traveler, it is an invitation. An invitation to look outward with renewed urgency, to ask questions we once feared to ask, to push past the comfort of ignorance and confront the possibility that the universe is both stranger and more alive than we ever dared imagine. Perhaps Atlas truly is nothing more than ice and stone, a fragment wandering eternally in silence. But perhaps it is more. Perhaps it is a messenger, a silent reminder that the story of the cosmos does not begin and end with us. The choice before us is simple. When the unknown calls, do we turn away or do we listen? Soon, Atlas will leave us, fading into memory, a brief spark against the canvas of eternity. But it will not be the last. Others will follow. Already, the dark beyond holds more secrets than we can count. Somewhere out there, even now, another object may be racing toward us, invisible, waiting for its moment to appear. And when it does, will we be ready? The universe is speaking, softly, in the language of wanderers. Atlas is only the third word in that whisper. The sentence has only begun.